Thank you so much for joining us. For everyone that doesn't know me, I am Angie Aki, and I am one of the admins or moderators for Intelligent Investing for Independent Women. And our goal is to talk about all different types of investing and to bring you resources that can help all of us grow. So I know recently you've heard from myself, Maria, and Beth, and our goal was to bring guests in for the remainder of the year, and so they can share their experience and we can all grow and learn from people within the group. So if you are interested in being a guest for our Facebook Lives, which happen bi-weekly, please by all means let us know. That being said, we'll get started. Today we have Jackie Jackson with us, the Jackie Jackson. Jackie is a dear friend of mine. She is an amazing colleague and just has honestly been a blessing in my life, both personally and professionally. When I think of Jackie, well, now I think of so many things, but initially when I thought of Jackie, I thought tax deeds, right? Tax deeds, tax liens. That's the first thing that came to mind. And she knows all the ins and outs of tax deeds and tax liens. So I'm really excited for today. We're going to cover a couple things. The topic that we're primarily going to cover is 4 reasons tax deeds are a great way to add value to your real estate business. Jackie is going to share her screen and walk through some of the things on her app. And we'll make sure I'll put a link below the live so you can find her as a resource and connect with her afterwards. We're also going to talk about a book that she recently wrote that I'm super excited about. So thank you so much for joining us, Jackie. Do you want to take a second and add anything else or introduce or jump right in?
Oh man, well, thank you so much, Angie, for having me. This is so amazing. I love sharing, and I'm just really excited to be here to share and just be a contributor and add value to all of your listeners. You've done so much, and I just want to acknowledge how powerful and incredible you are, not only as an investor, but as a mom, as a wife, as a giver. It's just so really amazing. Thank you, Angie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you. We are, Jackie is my kind of like a prosperity accountability partner unofficially. So I love it. We're doing a lot of amazing things together. So thank you for those kind words. All right, let's talk about tax deeds. So I know we were going to talk about 4 reasons tax deeds are a great addition, right? So do you want to walk through the 4? Do you want to start sharing your screen? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll definitely be happy to share about the 4 reasons. It's the same reason that I started investing in tax deeds as well. So when I started investing back in 2006, right, that was the first time I ventured into the real estate arena and purchased my first property. I did everything wrong. I did everything
it's a great
wrong.
Learning experience, right? Fail forward.
It was the most expensive PhD on what not to do. So I truly learned from the school of hard knocks, right? So with that said, I was in a deficit at that time, a 6-figure deficit, and I wasn't deterred by it. I just said, okay, Jackie, there are some really crucial pieces of information that you're missing because there are other investors that are successful. So what is it that you are missing? And what I did not know was that there's a whole nother world out there called creative real estate investing. So in my journey to climb out of my deficit, my financial deficit, literally bankruptcy, I learned creative real estate investing. And in that creative real estate investing, I was introduced to the idea of being able to purchase properties for their delinquent taxes, not their market value, not their appraised value, not the asking price, not the list price, but their real estate taxes that are due. And if you are familiar with real estate taxes, it's literally a fraction, a really small, minute fraction of the value of property. So you literally can purchase, or investor literally can purchase properties for, just a couple $1,000s, sometimes even just a couple $100 compared to the actual value of the property. And I was like,
I was literally just going to go mind blown, right?
Exactly.
We've been doing it wrong.
Well, there's multiple ways, right? So I call it basically, having multiple tools on your tool belt, because there is a tool for every type of task. And if your goal is to acquire, low properties, you don't have a lot of cash or capital to start, this particular strategy, which is investing in properties via their tax liens or their tax deeds auctions, is a great way to enter into the marketplace without having a huge lump sum of money and a commitment up front. So that's the reason why I love it so much. So I'm going to get into the 4 different ways. All right. So here we go. So number 1, I already kind of alluded to the first one. You don't need a lot of money.
Yeah.
You just don't.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. As I've been dealing, trust me, I've been dealing with lenders for some of our flips, and some of it's like jumping through hoops, and right. Cause you do when you're looking and you're acquiring and not going through tax deeds or tax liens, right. And purchasing that way, you need money, which means you need lenders, right? And
Right,
then they all have their own rules.
and they make it up as they go along, which is
Yes.
awesome.
Amen, sister. I'm like, wait, what? What is that? No, I'm like, one of them recently, I'm like, that's not even valid in Florida. Oh, by the way. So yeah, that's okay. That's why we have attorneys review documents, right? But I'm sorry. Continue on. You don't need a lot of money. So
You don't need a
already
lot of
interested.
money. You do not. And an example of not a lot of money, because that's all very relative. So I'm actually going to be using tangible, language, right? So I have a student, and I have many students, but I have a student, his first deal was $800. He purchased 2 lots for $800 a piece. And within a week, he resold those same properties for $4,500 each. Now, that may not seem like a lot of money to a lot of people, but that's $9,000 in gross revenue from an investment of $1,600. That's
Right.
incredible, the return on the cash and cash return that you receive. So there's proof of concept already there. And he's been doing that every single month since he's graduated my program. So imagine having an extra $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 pops of cash infused back into your family's budget every single month with consistency. Listen, you're not going to punch nobody's clock after you start getting those kinds of checks. You're like, why are we doing that? What alarm? I don't have an alarm. What day is it? I don't know. I don't follow calendars anymore. That's no, we don't do that. Right.
Absolutely. And it probably doesn't take him a lot of time anymore, right? Like he probably has a system. And so, he may be bringing in 9 or 10 grand a month and spending, I don't know, how long would you imagine he would have to spend to be able to get those lots and flip them routinely?
Oh my word, like immediately, right?
Okay,
So
yeah.
the time to market or put it back on it. And then especially if you're purchasing the property as is, or we're kind of used to that kind of language, and then selling it as is, right?
Yes.
So you're not really doing anything to it. So, there's no additional output or investment of cash. You just have this property that you own. So technically you are a for sale by owner. A lot of people, oh, is that wholesale, Jackie? I'm like, no, wholesaling is when you're assigning your interest in a contract to someone else. You don't actually own the property.
Right.
When you are investing in tax deeds, you're literally gaining ownership interest. It is an actual deed. So with your deed, you can convey ownership, transfer ownership to someone else. So you're selling your own property. So that's considered a for sale by owner. And you can do that as many times as you would like, which would lead me to number 2. You don't need a license to sell your own property, right? So many people, you don't need a real estate license to, masterfully and successfully implement this investment strategy. Many people get into real estate and they get their license first because they wanted to become investors. And that's okay. If you are a licensed sales professional, kudos to you. I am not, and
nor am I.
I'm just not, because for what I do, it's not a requirement. I'm not really representing anyone else's interest except my own. So the cool thing is you don't have to be licensed. And it's even cooler if you are licensed, that's great. You can still be successful at purchasing tax deeds and tax liens as well too. All right. So the two don't intertwine, they're like parallel paths, but they're not contingent on each other by any means. Very cool. So number 3, You don't need your credit. I know.
Yay! That's also amazing.
Also amazing. You're
Just
buying
keeps getting better.
right. So you're buying properties directly from your local government. And when I say local government, it's at the county level, right? Sometimes the municipality level, but mostly at the county level. So within every state, USA, real estate taxes are collected, right? That's how the counties are able to invest in vital services in our community, right? So that's our stoplights, that's our roads, that's our emergency services, that's our 911, that's our waterways. And you want to be able to pull up to a stoplight and it works, right? That's real estate taxes that takes care of all of those services. So when a property owner is delinquent in their real estate taxes, it actually is a very hard, it's a really serious hardship in the community and on the county. So in every state, there are laws that are written that says, hey, the county has, the taxing authority has, which is normally at the county level, has the right all the way to enforce a collection action, all the way up to selling the actual property for the taxes that are owed, okay? So as an investor, when that process occurs, it's normally a sales process that's available for the public to participate. So no banks are required, you don't have to use your credit, you don't have to go out and get qualified, to participate in any of these auctions. You don't have to have perfect credit, you don't have to have anything like that, because that's not what they're asking you for. It's just the county needs the money to pay for all of their services according to their annual budget, and the public on a first come, first served basis can participate. And if you are the successful bidder, you get the property. They don't really care about anything else after that. They just are trying to get the taxes satisfied. So you don't need to use your personal credit or business credit. You can use business credit. Most people use their business credit for financing, lines of credit, things like that. But it also isn't very necessary either. So that's why I love this strategy, right? So now we're at number 3.
Awesome. Yes. 3 amazing things.
Amazing
So
thing.
far, so good.
So far, so good. It's only up from here.
Yeah.
So number four is I don't need any financing. Like I don't need banks. I don't need to involve any bank or anything like that. So you most certainly can, have a lender. But to be honest with you, like you said earlier, lenders have their criteria, and most of their criteria is they want you to actually have a property first, because they want to be able to assess the asset. And then part of their decision-making process is based off of the asset, the collateral, as well as you and your worthiness. So when you're purchasing from the auction, it's kind of like putting the cart before the horse, or which one came first, the chicken or the egg. So there's not many lenders that will loan you monies to buy a property that you don't really have yet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Does that make sense? Okay,
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
Yep,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, so it's not necessarily a bad thing, but at the end of the day, you don't need them anyway. So what I have done in the past is I will purchase a property and now I own it free and clear because I bought it at the auction. And then I will go backwards and I will cash out some of the equity in that property. Because remember, I purchased it for a little bit, which is just delinquent taxes. And if I had to compete, as a bidder, maybe I'll go up to a certain amount that's based off of my budget. But I always put a cap on it to make sure that there's enough equity because I know how much that property is going to be worth. So I will go backwards and cash out some equity, refinancing and doing a refi cash out. And then I can either pay myself back and then have some more cash to go and purchase more properties from other.
And do it again. Rinse and repeat and do it again.
Do it
or
again.
if you want to, correct me if I'm wrong, but or if you wanted to flip that property, you could do a cash out refi, right? And pull some cash and use that money for the renovation.
Absolutely.
Right. And still not need a lender, which I'm like, yes, trust me, it's been a lender headache here and there for the past few weeks. It's okay. We're working through stuff, but not needing a lender to me, I'm like, that is you're speaking my language. And it's funny because we've talked about this multiple times. And for those that are watching or watch this recording, full transparency, right? Like this is what you get. This is always what you get. Jackie, I have asked her to come speak at the local meetup group, and then asked her to speak to our group today. And I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't signed up for your course. I've been thinking about it. I've looked at it. I'm like, I don't know. So, but after today, I'm like, okay, just need to do it. And because it's so, right, because I did wholesaling. I have the brain damage from wholesaling. And it's literally feels like brain damage for me, but it was good. It got me out of corporate. But this is something that is, quite frankly, a little more straightforward. I'm the owner, right? What I didn't like about wholesaling was I wasn't the seller or the buyer, right? And there's just so much that was 100% out of my control. Maybe I have control issues. That's okay. That's a topic for another Facebook Live. But this all puts, I mean, you are the owner, to your point. You have the deed. And so that's fine. You can, since I already threw out there that we are accountability partners, you can hold me accountable and say, Angie, are you doing this or not? I give you full, yeah, please do. Please do. Yeah, call me out. You can call me out in the Facebook group. That's fine too. Put it out there.
And, kudos to wholesaling, because one of the things that, I mastered was wholesaling properties and buying properties subject to the existing mortgage or option agreements or owner financing. I've even dabbled a little bit in non-performing and performing notes. So there's a whole spectrum of creative real estate processes or, strategies that we all can take advantage of. You just have to find a niche that resonates with you. So, more importantly, that supports the time that you have, supports the budget that you have, and it's able to support the vision and the lifestyle that you would like to have. So that's why, I always tell people I answer those questions first. How much time do I have? What's my budget? What do I want to happen? And what kind of life do I want to live? And then you match up the strategy that supports your lifestyle. So you can start living your best life now, not sometime in the future, but right now.
Absolutely. I think it would be a really good partner with syndications, which I focus on. So I think the two, right? Some of it is cash flow now, right? And some of it is building and that generational wealth and growing that wealth. So I think it would be a good counterpart. So we will see.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I know you said you wanted to share something on the screen. So I know we don't have a ton of time, but I wanted you to share that. And then I wanted to talk about your book briefly before we wrapped up. So
Sure can. So which one would you like to do first?
Screen share first, please.
Okay, good. So what I'm going to share, everyone, I went ahead and developed an online app, which is available through subscription. And it's in addition to my course. So the course teaches, it teaches due diligence, title searching, where to go, what to look for when you are investing, when you decide that you want to learn this strategy. So the course gives you everything that you need to know to be able to invest successfully in tax liens or tax deeds or tax deed surpluses all across the United States. So that was amazing in itself. And then I said, okay, well, why not have an app that connects to over 8,000 auctions live all across the United States? Because my students were like, well, where's these auctions? And I'm like, oh my God, they're like right here. They're like, you know where to find them, but I still struggle to find them. And I was like, all right, whatever. So that's how the application was birthed. So I'm actually going to share my screen with you. And please let me know if I'm sharing successfully.
Yeah, I'm looking. Yep, it's on the live too. So good to go.
All right, awesome sauce. So I'm actually just logged into my application. I'm logged into my app. And the reason why I'm logging into the app is just to give everyone an idea of how many properties, and when I say properties, parcels, they're called parcels in my app, how many parcels and properties are for sale right under your noses every single day. Because they're like, oh, this doesn't happen in my county. I'm like, you think? All right, we'll see about that.
Sure it does, right? Yeah, perception is reality.
Yeah,
so just reframe your thinking.
Right, you stop paying your real estate taxes and see how you end up on this list.
Yep, see what happens.
So the way how it works here is we can search by, past or future auctions. We can search by the state. And I know the majority of us, I'm assuming, I know your group is, everyone is available to join, but I'm believing that the majority of people are from probably in Florida. So
from my local group, yes. On the Facebook group, I think we're scattered throughout. So you can pick any state. If you want to pick Florida, that's fine.
Sweet. Okay. So if you click on state here, obviously I can go to any state. So I'm going to choose Florida. Why not? All right. And when I select Florida, these are all of under the first column jurisdiction. Those are the counties, the state, and then these are the auction dates. These are the dates. So we have auctions that are coming up right here in November. How cool is that? And take a look. These are deed auctions. So these are auctions where you get to own the property if you're the successful bidder. It's online, and there's 141 properties in Polk County that are for sale on November 17th. Isn't that interesting?
That means I need to take action. Sign up, right? It's good. It's good. Light a little fire. It's encouraging.
Fire, right? So, in the state of Florida, there are 67 counties, of course. And, the counties, the inventory, that's the best word, the inventory or the quantity of parcels that are sort of just based off of inventory, who's delinquent and who's not delinquent, right? So in this last column here, it just shows you, what counties has the most properties that are going up for auction. And then it also shares with you if the auction is online or if it's live and so on like that. But what I love to take a look at as well in this is this last column here, which is the aggregate. And that's the sum of the total amount of opening bids, so this
over 141,000.
Yeah. So if you add up, so if you add up the opening bids for each of those 141 parcels, it equals the $485,077.35.
So the average is, I did the math because I'm, again, mind blown.
You're like that. You're that girl.
I'm that girl. I am that girl. So $3,440.26 is the average.
The average. That's correct. That's great. If you think about it.
Which is mind blowing. Right?
Which is,
I'm just trying to look for a property to flip. I mean, under 100 is like a dream. That did happen recently. So I feel good. I was open to receive it. It came, but under 200 is really difficult in Florida. So just to put a little perspective to it, because this is close to where I am in Orlando. So looking for something under 200 is hard to come by, but right? Maybe not. That's fine.
Maybe not.
No, maybe it's not. Maybe I just need to pull it together. That's good.
Awesome. Exactly. And then, at the end of the day, this is how it actually looks, right? So when you click on it, it'll take us directly either to Polk County, Texas, or I can begin accessing this data. And then here are our properties that have the addresses. It'll tell us the property's type. It has the parcel ID here. And of the parcel IDs, the last 4 digits of them are intentionally grayed out because until the user decides that they want to do due diligence on that property and select it, right now we're just in view mode, okay? But when you want to select a property, that's where the subscription level comes in, okay? And you get a certain of properties that you can download and do additional, due diligence and screening on. But what I like to do is instead of just having like a blind list, you and we're all looking for specific types of properties. Would you agree? Like we have our niche. So the property type, why not just search for the types of properties that you want to buy only? Okay. And then now you've narrowed it down to only looking at those property types so that you don't have to click on anything that you don't want to see. Okay. And then over here is the opening bid. Take a look at this, Angie. So you did the average. So over here, take a look at this one. So this is like a mobile home property. It's licensed for a mobile home and it's a mobile home, $8,200. Not bad.
I just skipped all the way down to the single family at the bottom for 14,000.
All right, well, we got some single. Okay.
Oh, I missed that one. I missed it.
Here's one right at the top. So we got a single family in Bartow, the city of Bartow, And the opening bid is $5,466.67. And then we got another one here. Since you're only interested in single family, here's one in Davenport that's 14,009. So that's 15,000 on average, and so on and so forth. So we have quite a lot of few. I have students now that are really focused on residential vacant land, and why not? Because if you are unable to traditionally get this is already untraditional, but if you want to go a step further and be even more advanced, why not purchase residential vacant land, which is in high demand anyway, and then put your own property on top of it.
It's what we're building. We're building in Polk. Yes. So
absolutely.
See, all the more reasons. This is awesome. And this is pretty new, right?
Yeah, this is
new.
Yep, we just rolled this out. We did a soft, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I did a soft rollout, and it was available to graduates of the Tax Deed Genius program, but essentially it is available to the whole world.
Okay.
We're always trying to, do soft rollouts and, test the market and see, how the impact is and, where the value is, but it's available for sure. Perfect. And it's $97 a month. It's not a piggy bank breaker to have that kind of access and that information at your fingertips.
Awesome. So the last thing I want to cover, and then we'll wrap it up. So we try to stay within 20 minutes, but sometimes we run over, is your book, right? And so one of the things I mentioned at the beginning is Jackie and I connected, and we have a lot of discussions about prosperity and a lot of things non-real estate related, but also real estate investing related. So it's just really exciting to have those conversations and have someone to walk through that with. It's been amazing. So part of that is, I know, did you publish it recently? Did you publish the book recently, right?
The book was published in 2019. I went back and I looked at it.
Okay, well, tell us about the book, because I thought it was newer, but it's like this title, it just really wraps everything about Jackie up. I love it. So please share the title and the book.
Yeah, here we go. So here is the book. You Can Love God and Drive a Bentley. And the Bentley, I mean the actual luxury vehicle, okay? Now, if you don't have a desire to drive a Bentley, that's fine. You can substitute your desire with anything that you would like. But the whole purpose of the book, what I was going through at the time is, as a real estate investor, I got to a point in my career where I was really successful. And I was still working in my corporate job at the time. And I did a deal, Angie, and the actual flip itself was my annual salary. So it literally took me just a couple of weeks to make my annual. So I had to work a whole 365 days in, just to get that one dollar amount. And here I go, having it in just a couple of weeks. So I really wasn't prepared for that, because that kind of income conflicted with my own belief system and my own money story. And lo and behold, directly after that, I did not realize that this is what I was doing. I began to self-sabotage. I began to do things that were opposite of my productivity and efficiency. So I started to increase my spending so I can literally whittle down to my place of comfort, because where I came from, just enough was what you were expected to have. And anything more than that meant something, and I did not realize that. So in that journey of self-discovery, I'm a very faithful woman. And I said, okay, well, what does the scriptures, what does the Bible say about prosperity and financial abundance and independence? What does it say? What does it say about being rich? Does God really want me rich? Why do I feel like this?
God does.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Yes, does. So I did a deep dive into the Bible. And I identified the scriptures and stories in the Bible where it talks about prosperity and the abundance and the fact that you're supposed to have it. You know, we're supposed to be wealthy, inherited, you know, children of God. And I was like, okay, well, why do so many people have such a hardship, you know, in connecting that together? And so that's what the book is all about. And it's really foundational for those who are believers as well as those who are not and just want to see exactly what does the Bible say about being wealthy and how you should go about doing it. So I love this book. It's available on Amazon. You can purchase it there. You can love God and drive a Bentley and enjoy it. Many people who have read it really enjoyed it.
Yes, and we'll put the link in the comments. I did just refresh my screen. I thought questions popped up. I don't know. Again, not the technology person ever, but someone did ask, is there within tax deeds and tax liens, do you ever come across multifamily?
Oh yeah, multifamily owners stop paying their real estate taxes too.
Okay, there's a common theme. So yes, Maria, yes, you can find multifamily. I would presume, Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong, it's not as frequent as some of the other asset types, but still there, right?
You are correct, right? So all projects, all property types, regardless of their usage, is subject to the same statute. So what comes up on the list for auction will vary. I've seen schools on there, you know, like daycares and, you know, all kinds of commercial properties, agricultural, farmland, it's all there.
Okay.
Any other questions there?
Let's see. I had a little snafu with my screen here. Patra said, incredible platform, Jackie. So just wanted to share that. Yes. And someone said, you are so energetic. You are. It's one of my favorite things about you. And then it looks like there were some other comments, but I can't see them for some reason. Let me check on my phone. This is the woes of technology. My woes. It's usually not anyone else's woes.
But the beautiful thing is that we're being our authentic selves. So we are live. And whenever I go live,
we are live. Yeah.
I'm like, whatever happens when we're live, it's because we're live.
It happens. Yeah. No idea. Okay. So we have, it's so weird. It's showing 11 comments and then I cannot see them, but it's okay. It happens. Yeah. No. Still nothing, but I will. So it shows there are 11 comments. So we'll go through and we'll answer them in the group. I apologize if you have commented and I'm not seeing it, but we did get Maria's and Patra's, and I know Beth commented as well. So that being said, again, I will put Jackie's information under the live so that you all know how to contact her. And then Jackie, I'll get the link to the book as well. So I'll include that both for how to contact you and the book. And then of course she is a member of the group, so feel free to reach out to her. And thank you so much for your time. You continue to be a blessing to all of those around you. So thank you again. And I will stop the live and recording, and we will see everyone it will actually be 3 weeks due to Thanksgiving. So November 30th is our next, and we will have another guest. So thank you all. Stay safe during Tropical Storm Nicole if you are in Florida, and I hope to chat with you all soon.
Thank you so much, Angie.